Have you ever looked at someone celebrating their 100th birthday and thought, what's their secret? Maybe you've seen photos of smiling centenarians blowing out candles, still laughing, still moving around, still full of life, and wonder what they're doing that most of us aren't. Maybe you've even said to yourself, I'd love to make it to 100, but only if I can still enjoy life when I get there. Well, you're not alone. That curiosity, that desire to not just live longer, but to live better, is something so many of us feel, especially as we get older. And the beautiful truth is, there are patterns, simple habits, and daily choices that the world's longest living people have in common. You don't need expensive treatments or perfect genetics to follow them. You just need curiosity, a little courage, and a willingness to treat your life like it's still full of potential. Because it is. In this video, we're going to talk about some of the key things people who live past 100 tend to share, and how you can start doing them too, right now, no matter your age or where you're starting from. You don't have to overhaul your entire life. You don't need to move to a far-off village or start running marathons. It's about small, meaningful steps in the right direction. Let's start with one of the most overlooked but most powerful common threads: purpose. Now I know that word can sound big or even a little intimidating, but think of it more like a reason to get out of bed in the morning, something that brings a little spark to your heart. For some people, it's taking care of their garden. For others, it's spending time with grandchildren or volunteering in the community. Even something as simple as feeding the birds, writing in a journal, or calling an old friend can give your day direction. Centenarians, those who live to 100 and beyond, almost always have something that pulls them forward. It doesn't have to be dramatic. In fact, it's usually something very ordinary, but it matters to them. It gives their day structure and their heart something to look forward to. And guess what? Studies have shown that having a sense of purpose is linked to lower risk of heart disease, better sleep, and even longer life. So if you've been feeling like the days are all blending together, or like you've lost your why, it's never too late to find a new one. Start small. What makes you smile? What would you enjoy doing for just 5 minutes a day? Now let's talk about something that might surprise you. Movement, not intense exercise or pushing your body beyond its limits, but gentle, consistent movement throughout the day in places where people live the longest, like the blue zones of the world. Okinawa in Japan, Sardinia in Italy, and a few others. Movement is built right into daily life. They walk to market, they garden, they sweep their floors, they climb hills to visit neighbors. It's not about hitting the gym. It's about staying naturally active. You don't need a step counter or a treadmill. What matters is that your body keeps moving regularly. Maybe you take a walk after lunch. Maybe you do light stretches in the morning while the kettle's boiling. Maybe you turn on music and do a little dance in the kitchen while cooking dinner. It doesn't have to look a certain way. What matters is that you move in a way that feels good to you. When your joints stay active, your circulation improves, your muscles stay engaged, and your mood tends to lift too. And don't forget, moving your body also helps keep your brain young. That's right. Physical movement increases blood flow to brain and supports memory, clarity, and mood. You're not just keeping your legs strong. You're helping your mind stay sharp too. Speaking of keeping the brain sharp, there's another powerful habit centenarians share: staying connected, relationships, community, a sense of belonging. These aren't just feel-good things. They're protective factors for long life. In fact, feeling lonely or isolated has been shown to have similar health risks as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. That's how seriously the body takes connection. Now, I get it. As we get older, it's not always easy to stay social. Friends move away. Families get busy. Health challenges can make outings more difficult. But even small connections make a big difference. A regular phone call with someone you trust, a weekly gathering with neighbors or a local senior group, even chatting with a person at the checkout line or waving to someone on your daily walk can boost your mood and remind you that you're part of something. And if you've ever thought, well, I don't want to bother anyone, I want you to remember this. You're not a bother. You're a blessing. Your presence, your stories, your laughter, those things matter. So don't be afraid to reach out. Connection isn't just for the young. It's for all of us at every stage of life. So far, we've touched on purpose, movement, and connection, three powerful threads that keep showing up in the lives of those who reach that special 100-year milestone. These are the kinds of things that aren't always glamorous, but they're deeply human. They remind us that longevity isn't about chasing youth. It's about embracing life with curiosity and care. Now that we've looked at these important foundations, let's ease into the next piece of this puzzle, one that has just as much to do with joy as it does with health. Because one of the things people who live to 100 often have in common is their relationship with food, and not just what they eat, but how they eat. Now you might be thinking, here comes a lecture about kale and cutting out everything I enjoy. But that's not what this is about. This is about a different approach, one that's more mindful, more joyful, and much easier to stick with. In places where people live the longest, meals aren't rushed. Food isn't just fuel. It's a moment of pleasure, of gratitude, of connection. They eat slowly. They enjoy the flavors. They often eat with others. And they tend to stop before they're completely full, leaving the table feeling satisfied, not stuffed. In Okinawa, they call this hara hachibiyu, which means eating until you're about 80% full. It's a simple habit, but one that helps with digestion, energy, and even weight management. And here's the best part. You don't need to follow a trendy diet or count every calorie. Just start by listening to your body a little more closely. Slow down when you eat. Notice when you're satisfied, not just when you're full. And if you can, share your meals with someone. It makes the whole experience richer. Now, of course, what you eat does matter too. But again, the people who live the longest aren't eating anything strange or complicated. Their meals are full of color. Fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, beans, a little fish, and not a lot of processed stuff. Many of them enjoy a small glass of wine or tea each day, and they don't completely avoid sweets or bread. It's not about strict rules. It's about balance, variety, and enjoying real food made simply. If you're looking to start small, try adding one more plant-based meal to your week. Or swap out a packaged snack for a handful of nuts or some fruit. Little shifts like this can add up over time. And more importantly, they help you feel better in the present. Lighter, clearer, and more energized. But it's not just what goes into your body. It's also what goes into your mind. Another thing centenarians often share, a positive, adaptable mindset. Now, don't get me wrong, they're not immune to stress or sadness. Many have lived through war, loss, and major life changes, but they've learned how to bounce back. They don't dwell too long in the negative. They look forward. They keep going. They find reasons to laugh. One 102-year-old woman once said, "I don't waste time worrying. It's like rocking in a chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere." That kind of thinking isn't just wise. It's healing, because your mindset directly affects your body. Chronic stress can wear you down. But laughter, gratitude, hope, these things lift you up. They help your immune system. They protect your heart. They support better sleep. So, take a moment each day to think of something that went well. Say thank you for the little things, a warm blanket, a kind smile, a good meal. Find humor, even in the messiness of life. Turn on a funny show. Call a friend who makes you laugh. Smile at yourself in the mirror, even if you don't feel like it. It might sound silly, but your brain will follow your lead. And while we're talking about the inner life, let's not forget about something else that centenarians often carry with them, a deep sense of peace or spirituality. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean religion, though for some, it absolutely does. But more broadly, it's about having a sense of connection to something greater than themselves. That could be faith, nature, music, or simply a sense of purpose. Many people who live long, meaningful lives have rituals that ground them. Morning prayers, lighting a candle, sitting outside and watching the trees sway. These little acts help quiet the mind, especially in stressful moments. They offer comfort, and they help people feel less alone, even during hard times. If you don't already have something like that in your life, you might try creating a small daily ritual. Maybe it's sitting with your coffee in silence before the day begins. Maybe it's reading a favorite poem at night. Or simply close your eyes for a few minutes to take deep, slow breaths and feel your heart beating. Those quiet moments remind us that we're still here, still alive, and still capable of wonder. So yes, what people who live to 100 have in common often comes down to these small, quiet choices: how they eat, how they think, how they stay connected to the world around them. It's not magic. It's mindfulness. It's not luck. It's little habits, repeated over time with love and intention. And maybe the most beautiful part of all, it's never too late to begin. Your body listens. Your heart responds. And even one small change, just one, can start to shift the way you feel day by day. Now let's keep going and explore another thread that ties these long, vibrant lives together. One that speaks to joy, meaning, and something we all crave deep down. And that something is connection. The people who live the longest, those who reach 100 with a smile and a sparkle in their eyes, they're rarely isolated. They may live in small villages or big cities, but they all have something in common. They stay connected to others, not necessarily to a big crowd or a busy social calendar, but to a few meaningful relationships that give them a sense of belonging. And here's the surprising thing. It's not always about family. Of course, for many, having grandchildren around or close siblings helps. But plenty of centenarians have outlived their family and still maintain a rich social life. They form close bonds with neighbors, with friends from the market, with people they see during a morning walk. Even small moments of connection, a chat at the post office, a shared laugh at a cafe, can make a big difference in how we feel. It's human nature to want to feel seen, heard, and valued. And as we age, that doesn't go away. It may even become more important. So, whether you're surrounded by loved ones or living alone, think about how you can nurture your connections. Call someone you haven't spoken to in a while. Join a local class, even just once a week. Wave at the person walking their dog past your window. These simple acts add up, not just emotionally, but physically, because loneliness, especially over time, can affect your health as much as smoking or obesity. But the good news? It only takes 1 or 2 steady relationships to flip the switch and start feeling more alive again. Now, this leads into something else people who live to 100 often do beautifully. They stay engaged. They stay curious. They keep learning. They don't let the number on their birthday candles define what they're capable of. I remember reading about a woman who started painting at age 85. By 90, she had her own little exhibit in a local library. Or the man who picked up the harmonica in his late 70s, just for fun, and kept playing until 101. It's not about being great at something. It's about having something to wake up for, something to look forward to, a reason to move your hands, stretch your brain, open your heart. You don't have to enroll in a university or run a marathon. Maybe it's tending a garden, writing down your memories, learning how to use that fancy new phone your grandchild gave you. When you give yourself permission to be a beginner again, life feels fresh, even at 80 or 90. And here's the thing. It's not just good for your spirit. It's good for your brain. Staying mentally active helps protect against memory loss, depression, and cognitive decline. Even simple things, like doing puzzles, learning a new song, or cooking a recipe from another culture, can light up areas of your brain that haven't been used in a while. Think of it like exercising your muscles. The more you use it, the more it stays strong. Now let's talk about one of the most underrated secrets of people who live long, vibrant lives. They move their bodies, but not in the way you might think. Most of them aren't running laps or doing high-intensity workouts. They're just naturally active throughout the day. They walk, they garden, they sweep their front steps, they carry groceries, they dance when the music plays. They don't see movement as a chore. It's simply part of life. One centenarian put it perfectly. I just never stop moving. That doesn't mean pushing yourself to exhaustion. It means listening to your body and inviting it to stay in motion. Maybe that's a morning stretch. Maybe it's walking to the mailbox instead of driving. Maybe it's putting on music and swaying in the kitchen while you stir soup. Movement brings circulation, flexibility, balance, and energy. And it brings joy, especially when you're not focused on doing it perfectly. Even small, consistent movement can ease joint pain, lower blood pressure, improve digestion, and help you sleep better. If you've been inactive for a while, just start gently. a few steps at a time, a few minutes in the morning. The key is to make it yours. Let it be playful. Let it be pleasant. And don't underestimate how powerful those little motions are. They keep the engine running. And finally, one last thread that seems to weave through the lives of those who reach 100. They have a reason to get out of bed in the morning, whether it's caring for a pet, helping a neighbor, reading the paper, or preparing lunch for someone they love. There's something they look forward to, something that makes them feel needed, something that gives a day meaning. They don't always call it purpose, but that's exactly what it is. Purpose doesn't have to be grand or heroic. It can be as simple as watering your plants or writing letters to your grandchildren. It's the quiet knowledge that your presence in the world still matters, that your actions ripple outward, that your story isn't over yet. So if you've been feeling like the best chapters are behind you, let me tell you something. You're still holding the pen. You still get to write what comes next. Every single day is a blank page. And maybe, just maybe, some of the most beautiful lines are still waiting to be written. Before we wrap up, let's take a breath and appreciate everything we've talked about. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about choosing one small thing you can start with today. One shift in mindset, one deeper breath, one slower meal, one kind word to a friend. These small moments add up, not just to a longer life, but to a better one. And if you're sitting there thinking, is it too late for me? The answer is no. It's never too late. Your heart still beats. Your lungs still breathe. Your smile still has the power to light up a room. You're still here. And that means there's still time for joy, for connection, for growth, and for peace. If this video made you feel hopeful or inspired, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments. What spoke to you? What will you try first? If you haven't already, go ahead and like the video and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. This space is all about helping you live well, feel strong, and stay connected, no matter your age. Thank you for spending this time with me today. I hope it brought a little light into your day. You are valued. You are not alone. And you have so much more life to live. Here's to you, and to living your best, most vibrant life at any age. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.